Okay, I'm going to go over the MSU police cadets failure to send out the campus-wide emergency alert, which they were ordered to do so by Officer Zachary Rangel. So I'm going to read to you from the police report. This is the story I'm writing on it. Okay, so page 64 of 126. Okay, chapter page 64, 126. Okay. Officer Zachary Rangel is a patrol sergeant with the Michigan State University Police Department, and he was one of the initial responding officers during the nationally televised campus mass shooting. Officer Rangel was assigned as a night shift patrol sergeant at the time of the shooting incident. Officer Rangel states on the report that he believes the time of the shooting incident was at approximately 201900 hours or 8:19 p.m. on February 13th, 2023. At approximately 8:19 p.m., he was dispatched to Berkey Hall for a report of shots fired, and he was also notified that multiple people were shot and or injured. Officer Rangel responded from the Michigan State University Police Department. When Officer Rangel was departing the MSUPD parking lot at 8:20 p.m., he contacted the MSU police cadets via his radio and told them, I quote, "Activate the lockdown for campus." Officer Rangel did not receive a response from the cadet, so he attempted to reach the cadet over radio one more time. This time, the cadet responded to Officer Rangel saying, "Go ahead, we got you." With this response, Officer Rangel believed the cadets copied his initial order to lock down the campus and send the campus-wide emergency alert notification to shelter in place because of an active shooter. Okay, it states all this in his own words on the police report, page 64. Officer Rangel responded again to the cadets via radio. "Thank you. Put the campus on lockdown." Then he said, "Shots fired at Berkey Hall." Officer Rangel noted this exchange with the police cadets occurred at 8:20 p.m. After he gave the order to send out the campus-wide alert to lock down the campus, he proceeded to Berkey Hall. Here's my question: Would you put unsworn children in charge of locking down a 60,000 person campus for a nationally televised campus mass shooting event? Okay, or would you put sworn officers in charge? If the police cadets, who are not sworn officers, would have locked down the campus when Officer Rangel ordered them to do so, Brian Frazier would not have died. It took them anywhere from 9 to 11 minutes to send the emergency alert from the time they received the order to do so. While he was en route to Berkey Hall, Zachary Rangel heard via radio traffic that East Lansing Police Department and Ingham County were already on their way to the scene. Officer Rangel also requested dispatch to notify Meridian Township Police for mutual aid. He then received a radio message from dispatch that Meridian Township was en route, in addition to Lansing Police Department. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. Okay, so think about that for a second. Brian Frazier would still be alive if that alert goes out at 8:20 p.m., 8:21 at the latest. Those doors are locked at Union. Now, can that emergency alert system? I had an eyewitness who was working at Union the night of the shooting. He told me the door was propped open for the shooter. So if the door was propped open, I mean, the shooter was going to get him regardless, but some people said it wasn't. Okay, that's the police's official story. Okay, the shooter just came in. Okay, you can watch the surveillance video on my website. I posted it from Channel 2. Okay, now this same video, Chief Rosman, he states on national television and local television that they are going to be beefing up security around campus. Now, if you walk inside Berkey Hall, there's still not one security camera inside Berkey Hall. Okay, so if the emergency alert goes out when it was ordered to do so, the police cadets, who are unsworn children, basically college students, they were put in charge with locking down a 60,000 person campus. Okay, if you were a parent of one of these kids, would you want police cadets being in charge of a 60,000 person campus lockdown? Or would you want trained professionals, law enforcement, sworn officers, okay, adults that have been trained on the system over and over again? They've trained for active shooting incidents. Would you want to put those people in charge? or unsworn, untrained children who are in the they're in the criminal justice field. That's what the MSU Police Cadets is. It's people who want to join the club that are in the criminal criminal justice system. Okay, so that's something you should think about. Is why is there no cameras still to this day in Berkey Hall when there was just 2 students and 5 allegedly injured inside that building? If you walk through there today, if you walk around campus, there's no cameras inside Berkey Hall. And now there's no cameras on a lot of structures. For the natural science building, if you walk by there, there's not one single camera on there. Okay? And I'm all for people having their own privacy, but I'm going off what Chief Brosman stated on TV, that they're going to beef up security and specifically add more cameras. So my question to the police will be, how many cameras have you added since the shooting, and where have you added them? And then I would ask, why have you not added any in Berkey Hall? Those are 3 straightforward questions that you should be able to get an honest answer about if the police care about student safety. Okay, again, the word campus, if you look it up in Latin, it means battleground. And if you watch my last video on We Schooled You, we're getting schooled the wrong way. Okay, we've been schooled. Okay, the reason why we have police officers that are inside all of our schools nationwide is to prevent school shootings. The plan was, once Columbine happened, there's never going to be another school shooting again. I mean, there never should be. With the amount of technology we have, I mean, they can hear you fart. They know what you're saying on your phone constantly. Actually, a perfect example of this was just on Front Page News. I think it was the Lansing State Journal. The Michigan State Police, they just stopped a high-end robbery on rail cars of they were GM cars, like Corvettes. I forget what like the nicer end cars. Okay, so they were able to gather intelligence. Okay, they knew the plan of these guys, and they met them at the rail station, and they stopped it like as it was about to happen. Okay, so that's the technology that police have. I mean, they can hear and see everything you do. I want you to know that. Okay, go look up the act, CLEA. Okay, I was signed it sometime in the early 2000s, I believe. It's called CALIA. It's basically police since 9/11. Basically, a police officer has the same technology as an NSA analyst. Think of it that way. Okay, they can hear anything they want to hear, any cell phone signal that they want to pick up. All they have to do is either know your SIM number or your cell phone number. Okay, or there's a device that they can turn on in their car. It gathers all the cell phones in the area, and they can pick which ones they want to listen to. Okay, so there should never. I mean, the fact that the doors were locked or propped open for the shooter tells you it's planned. So what do people do to plan stuff before? They usually use their phones, and they're communicating with each other. Okay, there's technology, for example, like facial recognition software that you could have deployed to stop child trafficking a long time ago, but we have failed to utilize it in the right way. So there's some things that I'm going to do as president, like stop child trafficking. We have the technology and the manpower and the woman power to do it. We have the technology and the intelligence to stop another school shooting from ever happening again. So we're going to do that. Okay, there's no excuses. Love you to my 4 beautiful daughters, Miller, Madison, Colette, Quinn. Thanks for teaching your daddy how to win. Go check out my blog post on We Schooled You. I urge you to. It talks about how there's more modern day slaves alive than there's more than at any other point in history. Love you. Have a great day.